How did we get here? D&D originated from war games, adversarial by their nature, and from two creators that had a rocky relationship, to say the least. This issue has been part of tabletop RPG culture since Dungeons & Dragons was invented. It's just baked into our hobby's DNA. Hey there, adventurers. I'm Judd, and this is Short Rest Studios. I genuinely believe that having fun together is one of the best ways we can build relationships and find the community we need. Next week, we'll get back to fun, but I believe we as a community are doing things that can kill the D&D hobby. I don't really think it's going to die, but it's not healthy. I want this community to stay fun. So let's talk about the how and the why and how we can change it. Also, I want your comments, but please be civil and watch the whole video first. I might actually address what you have to say. So how are we killing our own hobby? Anger, vitriol, exclusion, belittling, condemnation. Those are destructive behaviors that are running rampant in a lot of our gaming community. A lot of us seem to feel that we have to convince everyone else that our way of playing D&D is the right way. And how dare you change it or play it differently or not like the thing that I like. The arguing and infighting is, like I said, nothing new. I know a lot of you are probably blissfully unaware this kind of thing is even going on. You're enjoying a campaign with your friends and you've never even heard of an edition war or an OGL. And I say, God bless you, seriously. I was like you in 2022 when I entered the YouTube echo chamber, and now I hear all the junk. I honestly long for those early days. Our hobby is gaming. It's supposed to be fun, and I guess for some people, arguing like this might be fun. For the majority of us, it's exhausting. It ruins the fun. So why are we doing it? The truth is, like I said, people have been fighting over D&D since the beginning, even Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, the creators of the game. Look, I get that wasn't about playing the game, but the truth is, as I said before, there's kind of always been this adversarial undercurrent in the culture of the hobby, and the more popular role-playing games become, the bigger the arguments. With every new edition of D&D comes a new edition war. We don't hear a lot about that kind of stuff from the early days of the game. I mean, it was there, but, there wasn't internet and social media back then. But now 3.5 has its fans and they hate 5e, and 5e fans think 3.5 is bloated and they all hate 4th edition. The 2024-25 edition comes along and we've got all kinds of accusations flying around and people get angry with each other for having fun in different ways. That's why I did this video a while back. And yes, it's fine to have opinions. If you still love AD&D and that's what you want to play and you have a group of friends who want to play it with you, go for it. If you feel that 3.5 is far superior to 2024-25 D&D, that's great. Honestly, I want you to have fun. And maybe we shouldn't talk about this anymore. I'm honestly a little tired of thinking about it. But another reason for all this strife is the array of corporate controversies we've seen from Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast over the last couple years. The OGL scandal, the Pinkertons, the 2023 Christmas layoffs, the host of other D&D related layoffs last year. A lot of gamers have sworn off new D&D because of those things. Other people consider it water under the bridge. Some don't care. Most don't even know about it. Again, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I think we all understand that these kind of issues are more serious than edition wars. Boycott Hasbro if you want. Buy the books and play with the new rules if you want. Those are personal decisions. I would like to point out that when the OGL scandal came out, we came together as a community and made Hasbro and WotC back down. For years, and probably to a lesser extent, people have been fighting over whether it's okay to use homebrew rules or not. Yeah, for real. I actually had a commenter say no one who hasn't designed a full tabletop role-playing game should ever create a homebrew rule. Some people argue over whether online or in person is better. We have a lot of reasons, some good, some not so much. In the end, I think we get upset and argue because D&D means a lot to us. It's special to us. And so we have strong feelings about it. But I think we have to ask ourselves, why isn't it okay for someone else to enjoy it differently than we do? Why isn't it okay for someone to enjoy something we don't? especially if they're not making us do it, and they can't. Change is hard. It's human nature to hate and to resist change. But if the game doesn't grow and change, it will die. We've seen an incredible amount of growth in the number and kinds of people who play D&D and TTRPGs since 2014. We've seen a great deal of change, good and bad, too. And all of this stuff contributes. So how can we stop killing the hobby? Again, I don't think the whole hobby is going to die, but it's kind of like smoking. You might smoke and live a long life, but you're never really going to be healthy enough to enjoy everything you might want to. There's always going to be this unhealthy core in our community until we decide to change our behavior. We have to stop fighting and welcome people. I've said repeatedly in this video that it's okay to have opinions. In fact, your opinions matter, and we can even talk about them. But what actual point is there in getting angry and starting arguments with people who disagree with you? It's a game, guys. I'm not saying you can sit down and play a D&D game with absolutely anyone and you would all enjoy it. We all know that that's just not true. There are different play styles and different personalities and all that. I also recognize there are moral lines that have to be taken more seriously than simple disagreements over preference. But I also think it might be worth asking ourselves if we're turning our preferences into moral lines and expecting other gamers to abide by them. One of the beautiful things about this hobby is that there is a table out there for everyone, and there are more tables with more kinds of fun opening up every day. Let's just be okay with people playing differently at those different tables. Another thing we can do to make our hobby healthier is to find somewhere else to channel that energy. Because of the growth and change in D&D, we've seen an explosion of creativity in the TTRPG space. Based on my exhaustive 5-minute Google search, there's actually no way to know how many tabletop RPGs are on the market today. D&D is by far the most popular, but tons of great people are creating tons of great games all the time. We have an embarrassment of riches, and a big part of the reason for that is that people who were dissatisfied with the direction of D&D decided that instead of arguing and complaining, they were going to go out and make something new that they loved, that more of us could enjoy together. This means the hobby will continue to grow. New people will keep coming to the table. A lot will play D&D. A lot will play a different flavor of D&D than you or I do. Some will play Pathfinder or Call of Cthulhu or Shadow Dark or Dungeon Crawl Classics or Trail of the Behemoth. And those are good things. I know me saying all this probably won't have much impact on anyone who doesn't agree with my opinion, and that people who want to argue are probably just going to argue with me. And you might think, well, then what's the point of saying it? It needs to be said. And if one person does have a change of heart because I said it or because some other person said something similar, I'm really good with that. I want to leave you with this to chew on. What if we took all the anger and dissatisfaction and instead of directing it at other people who are just trying to have fun playing a game, we directed it toward creating new fun experiences for the players around our tables, whatever that looks like.